So today I am going to show you how you can begin finishing your watercolor project. So as you can see from my part 2 video, this looks completely different than what I had last time. And it's kind of in an ugly stage right now. And I always say that about my watercolor paintings because they do go through a bit of a transformation until you get to your end result. So what you want to focus on is really placing in those dark shadows, and wherever you want to highlight, just leave it alone. Don't keep painting over it, or else it's going to keep getting darker. So like if I want this to stay as light as it is, or this part to stay as light as it is, I'm leaving it alone. Another good thing to note is that with watercolor, and I've said this before, is you want things to dry and you want to work in layers. If you don't work in layers and you don't let it dry, it's all going to become like a muddy puddle and it's all going to blend together. But I couldn't get a lot of this dark, rich area without letting it dry first. Okay, and same thing over here. If I want to, and this is dry, and I want to layer it on, so I have to make sure that this area is dry first before I can paint on top of it, which is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just building up that color because I want this color to stand out. I want it to be vibrant. I'm going over it multiple times. My painting's probably upside down. I don't even remember at this point, but I'm moving my paper around just to work better for me, because when I paint, sometimes I like to switch up the way I'm looking at it so I get a different perspective, and that just helps me continue to add other details that I need to work on. And if you have an area that dried kind of funny, you can, just take clean water and kind of press on it, and it will actually pull the watercolor. Even if it was dried from like a last class, it might even pull that color back just with clean water. So that kind of softened up some of the edges for me. So I'm just going in all over, and I'm placing in more layers. I'm highlighting things, I'm adding shadows, and I'm creating dark paints. So I'm looking at my photo, even though you guys can't see it right now, and I have a lot of different hues of like a dark purple, dark red, I've got bright pinks, so I'm making sure that I'm mixing the colors I need, whether you're using palette paper or not. I'm using my lid just because this is my personal watercolor set, so I am making sure that I have the colors that I need ready, and I'm mixing them in large amounts so I don't have to go back every 2 minutes and keep mixing more of the same color. It's better to make a lot of it at once so that things don't keep drying up on you. Okay, so keep going into your painting, adding details, and you'll start to get to a point where you're feeling finished when everything is dry. You have your highlights, you have your shadows, and again, no one's ever going to see the reference photos you guys looked at. So if you're stuck on the fact that it doesn't look exactly like your reference photo, seriously, don't even worry about it. It's supposed to still look like something, of course. It's supposed to still look like a flower, but this doesn't look like an exact replica of the picture that I've been looking at. And it doesn't bother me, because that's what we do as artists. We make things our own, and we put our own little spin on it, and nothing's ever going to look exactly like, a photograph, okay? So once you get to a point of finishing, you can write your name on the back of your project, or even just a little signature. Never write like your full name on the front. You don't need to write your class period, just, little signature in the corner. And take a picture to upload to Schoology. Make sure you answer all the artist statement questions.